What's up, guys? It's Joshua and Connor with Chamber One Tactical. Today we're going to be reviewing the BCM MK2 upper, kind of in our mid-tier AR-15 comparison. But this video is just specifically the BCM upper, and so let's get into it. All right, so to start off with, we're just going to go over kind of what we have on this, just to give you an idea. I'm going to go over the upper, Connor's going to go over the lower. So real quick, we have a Holosun 510C with a 3x magnifier. We have a Olight Odin, is that what they're called? This one's the 2000 lumen with a pressure pad, and we do have a couple of these wire organizers, I don't know what you call them, but they keep it nice and tight. Then we put on a dead air compensator so that you could put on a dead air suppressor.
Yep.
So we'll be hopefully doing that in the future. Yep. And BCA actually sends us two little attachments.
Whoa. BCM.
Whoa, BCM, not BCA.
Man.
I'm sorry.
Woo.
But BCM. I'm sorry.
Woo.
They send a Picatinny rail that you can put just about anywhere. I just slapped it on the bottom just in case we wanted to put a bipod or something like that on there. And then you can't see it from here, but right on this 45 degree, they gave us a QD point for a sling. So I put it right here on this side.
Which is pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, and then the charging handle, I don't remember the brand, but it was a cheap one. It was an Ambi. I got it, I think it was like 30 bucks online. It was a pretty good deal, but
so
it worked fine.
What's the price point of the upper itself?
Yeah, the price point of the upper was, so normally they're around $830.
Okay.
Without well, the deal that I had too, it came with the bolt carrier. So this is a BCM bolt carrier. I did have to buy the charging handle, but again, that's a lot of value just in the bolt itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I got mine for $830. There were some deals that were, a little bit cheaper, but I kind of bought it a little late and I didn't get that deal. So $830 is what you're going to get, but that's for the MK2.
Yeah.
You can get them cheaper for around $770 for just the standard. But just to quickly go over what the MK2 gives you.
Sure.
And we'll give some close-ups on it, but they beef up the receiver on this side. From what I've seen online, it adds 30% more rigidity to it,
wow,
which is a lot. And you really don't feel it in the weight as much. Right here, and again, we'll do close-ups on this as well, it's got some drilled gas ports so that the gas can come out and be away from the shooter's face, right here by the charging handle. And I feel like I'm missing one other thing. But anyways, I'll probably think about it later. But, you get a couple extra little features with the MK2. Oh, yeah, the forward assist is moved forward so that you can get to your charging handle a little bit easier. That's what the other thing was.
Which is one of the biggest things to me. That really makes a difference when you're actually using it.
So for that extra $40 to $50 of upgrades, to me it's well worth it. 30% rigidity, the gas ports, and that being moved up, it was well worth it to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And then with the lower, Joshua is rocking a PSA Trump lower, so it's the Trump 47 with his face on the side, which completes the gun. It just makes it look so cool. And then he is rocking a
Delta Team Tactical.
Yeah, Delta Team Tactical FRT trigger, and this is the 3-stage.
Correct.
So you've got safe, semi, and then FRT, and
which is forced reset trigger. Yep.
Yeah,
it makes it go burr.
Pretty sweet setup.
Yep.
And then he's just got a standard SBA3 brace on the back. So, this upper was really run through its paces because of this trigger.
Yeah.
We shot the majority of firing this gun with the forced reset trigger. on.
Yes, but will we be able to show that on this video?
Probably not.
Yeah.
No.
So stay tuned because
yeah.
we're going to be doing a separate video just on reviewing the trigger. We did do some other uppers, not just this upper as well.
Yep.
But we weren't able to add that footage into this video just because of YouTube's rules and all that stuff.
So to sum up the actual value of the upper, because that is one of the main things that we're going to be looking at when we do this mid-tier showdown.
Yep.
To sum it all up, Joshua pretty much got the upper with the bolt carrier, everything included, for $830. I think his charge handle, he paid like $25
we'll just say
for something.
Yeah.
So pretty good deal what he got, because their bolts are a little bit more expensive than just standard PSA bolts or Toolcraft, whatever you want to talk, whichever one you would put in there.
Yeah.
So not a terrible deal, but it is a little bit higher priced than another product that we have done a review on. So not a terrible. What do you think about the price? Do you think the price point is decent for what you're getting, or do you feel it's a little overpriced?
I think it's fair. I think it's right. I would love to see it cheaper, just like anybody would. Nobody's going to say, "Oh yeah, I like spending $850." Right. But if I'm being reasonable and I'm saying for what you're getting, I think the price point and where it sits is actually fair.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say about it. And especially with the upgrades, I think the upgrades, I know I just said it, but I think that extra $40 to $50 is well worth the upgrades that you get for the MK2 model.
Sure. Yeah, moving on to like fit and finish. This gun is very iconic in my opinion. I think me and Joshua both agree on that. When you see the rail system, when you see the upper, it's a BCM.
Yep.
So the locking device that they have on the actual rail is very strong. These guns are pretty much known for their fit and finish, their durability, just how well they're put together. And I think we have not been let down in seeing that. It's a very durable gun, very durable feeling gun, and it's a very quality feeling
tight tolerances, which are really nice, especially putting in the bolt. You notice that.
One of the main things I like is that they kept your 45-degree M-lock slots.
Yeah.
We've reviewed another upper that they completely got rid of that, and what they did to try and still lighten up the rail is they drilled holes on the side right below your Picatinny, which lightened up. That's a good amount of material they were able to take out. But keep that 45-degree M-lock. So, Joshua obviously put his QD point there, and not having that, you would not be able to put that slot there. And I think that having a QD on a 45 is probably one of the best setups you can have. Just getting that sling on and off. So I really like the fit and finish of the BCMs. I think they do a good job. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, going back to fit and finish, just one thing to note is the rail system. I know you just talked about it, but again, that's one thing. They've got these tabs that help align it, which are really, really strong. And then they're just kind of known for being built durable.
Yeah.
It is a very strong setup that you can throw around and it's not going to mess anything up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and what you want to start us off on reliability? How was the reliability on it?
Yeah, so the reliability, obviously talking about the upper itself, not talking about the trigger, right?
Yeah.
Was 100% reliable. Especially in the semi-auto mode. It's just, we had no malfunctions. It felt very smooth, especially having that comp on there. We had very little recoil on there. And I don't foresee any issues, popping up.
No.
They are built very reliably.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, in shooting the gun, it's hard to say with ARs, because when you start paying more and more, especially on uppers where you're still building out the rest of the gun, it's hard to say one shoots that much better than the other. But I will say with this setup, you can feel the quality in the actual upper itself. The ejection pattern was identical pretty much every single time. And that's one thing that you see with those cheaper uppers and cheaper guns that we've done reviews on. The ejection pattern is just kind of all over the place.
Yes.
So definitely a more tuned upper than what you're going to see with these cheaper guns that we've done reviews on in the past. So I do like that someone actually sat there and made sure that this gun was perfect before they sent it out and sold it to someone. And I think that is where you're getting the worth of the extra price.
Right.
The extra money that you're going to have to spend is not having to send the gun back and go through all that process. You're getting a pretty much perfect machine straight from BCM.
It'll last you a really long time. And I think we forgot to mention, just so you guys know, this is 11.5 inch. That's something kind of unique to BCM, is they don't have a 10.5 inch, which a lot of companies have a 10.5 inch. I know I've built at least 2 other 10.5 inch ARs from other companies, And I was very shocked to see, okay, well, why do they not have a 10.5 inch? But Grantham has a really good video talking about barrel lengths and velocity, and he, tests every single barrel length. And the jump from 10.5 to 11.5 was the biggest jump in velocity out of all the other ones.
Yep.
And so I think that was kind of something to note is, BCM, they kind of knew that, and that's why they set their minimum. They do have, if I'm not mistaken, one like a 7-inch or something really small. But as far as their main AR-15s that they sell, 11.5 inch is kind of the smallest that you get.
Yeah, I mean, I was very impressed with the gun. I'm very impressed with BCM. I do think, they have definitely set themselves apart from the rest of, I'm not going to say all of them, but the majority of AR builders in that price point.
Yeah.
I think they're doing a great job. And like I said, I was very happy with what Joshua got from BCM. So at this point, Joshua, the price point we've got, the rounds that we've got in it, would you recommend this product to our viewers?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I know it's a little bit more expensive than a budget AR-15, but this is not a budget AR-15.
Right.
And again, I guess upper, but you can throw a really cheap, like we have a PSA lower on there.
Yep.
That's not what really makes the AR-15. This right here is what makes your AR-15, right? So for the price point that is coming in, I think it's fair. I think it's, where it should be. And it's going to last you a whole lot longer than those cheaper $500 full-built AR-15s.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're at that point where you're looking for an AR that's going to last you a long time, that you can get a lot of use out of it.
Be more durable.
Yeah, I mean, some people are going to go buy an AR and they're going to shoot it, once or twice a year, and they're going to say, I've got an AR. And then some people like Joshua and I, where we're shooting all the time, we're putting rounds through our guns all the time. We want a product that's not going to break within 5,000 rounds. And I think BCM is one of those companies that when you get one, you have that assurance that it's going to last for a really long time. And I think it's well worth the money to get a product that is good coming straight from BCM, and that is going to last you a long time, and you're not going to be worried about, oh, did something break, this or that.
Right.
You know that this thing is going to be there for you when you need it.
Right.
So I definitely think it's worth the money. I would definitely recommend it. And if you guys have any questions about anything that you saw up here, just let us know in the comment section. And make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.